That's corny as fuck.
That is corny as hell, man. Bro, they got so destroyed so bad, man. It's so funny that admin had to step in, bro.
Get the fuck out of the way. What the fuck's going on out here? I see you, Casca. I see you. I see you, you little rascal.
What's up, cutie? Okay. Where go bombs, dude?
What do you got? What do you got? What do you have there? An MP5?
It's kind of shit. I'm probably just gonna throw it on the ground.
What was it? Tell me. Tell me.
No, kill.
What was it?
Are you scared to come out and fight?
What was it? What was it?
You absolutely pretty good.
Just shut the fuck out of me, you fuck!
Come on out here, pussy. Come on out.
Oh, yeah.
1v1.
Wouldn't that be a 1v2?
Yes, you two versus me.
Good.
Giga Chad.
What's that?
Yes, you two versus me, the Giga Chad.
We had played around a bit on the server, and now, after accidentally killing a mercenary, the mercenary leader Mikolo demanded we end our neutrality and pick a side, Zozi or the mercenaries. However, I had seen everything I needed to see. This was a faction that wanted me to fight their battles. After one of their ex-leaders said a rather strange thing to me, and due to the constant ass-kissing to me, I felt the choice was obvious. The mercenaries were currently patrolling Tikitown in vehicles. Now was the time. Zozi joined up with us, and we hit the mercenaries hard.
A bus going out, main road, going to the source. I know it's them, but it's way too far. You got him. Ah, the same guy. Oh, Miko too, dang.
With that act of betrayal against the mercenaries, the war had begun. Everyone told us they were the sheriffs in town, and we wanted to find out what these so-called top dogs were made of. At this point, we were getting a little bored of the mercenaries. We killed at least 60 of them, but they didn't put much of a fight up. They rarely exited their safe houses, abused safe zones in PvP, employed a tactic called the turtle tactic, where they traveled around the map inside of a mobile safe house while a fresh spawn drove them. We also saw that they would hide their gear inside of their base whenever we came on. Hilariously, we even had clips of them being caught in the act. They pretty much resorted to attacking us with baseball bats, which obviously didn't end too well for them. So we turned our attention to the rest of the server. Aside from the first week, we never spoke, and yet their toxicity was daily, essentially arguing with a brick wall. Every death would be a new rant in the Discord. It wasn't just the mercenaries who were toxic. This was a PvP server where the players hated anyone who PvP'd. And since we were the only ones killing, the server rallied against us. Complaints and reports flooded in, but this only fueled us to expand our reach and hunt everyone down, which is exactly what we did.
Everybody gets one.
Are you in there? Or are you camping the bridge, Mira? Mira wouldn't be camping the bridge. She would be in the bushes next to the bridge right there. Or maybe Mira's actually camping inside of that fucking nasty water right there where she belongs. Yeah, that's right, Mira. I called you a dirty O.
Once we realized the mercenaries were spreading rumors about us allegedly cheating, we chose to infiltrate their faction by sending a spy to join them, which made our ambushes far more effective, allowing us to intercept many mercenary operations. This is when we heard about the upcoming server event. The mercenaries rallied for the event, pulling numbers we had never seen before. We were not going to miss out on this. When the event began, we were in position to ambush the mercenaries with our spy providing overwatch, but we had no idea this would turn out to be a disaster. We witnessed the admins teleporting to people and shooting them while blatantly abusing their powers. They told us not to camp the mercenaries, and we witnessed one of our own members, Zozi, appearing to fight the mercenaries in God mode. Admitting it when questioned, unsolicited, he sent us metagaming info and bragged about killing mercenaries. One of our other members went into the event area anyways and tried to fight the mercenaries, only for the admins to spawn zombies and noisemakers on her. The mercenaries, of course, went on to win this event, which at this point just felt like a handout to them. They were rewarded with guns with admin cheat-modified range, exosuits, and light machine guns, items which didn't spawn normally. We had no choice but to kick Zozi from our faction for using God mode in PvP. He responded as expected. Our spy and stashes exposed and damage to some of our file systems. This was annoying to say the least.
Well, that's very interesting. We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you. No two ways about it.
Zozi stopped playing the server shortly after this, joining on his crafting account just to cry in the chat daily, but he never hunted us. With that problem solved, we moved on.
Money, 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 money.
Interesting how a cheat report is treated differently when it involves a supporter. Anyways, the mercenaries had paid real-life money to wall off a huge chunk of the forest. Many of our positions we used to camp were now safe-zoned. We feared this was coming and had already began preparations for it. The mercenaries had cried to the staff to change the aim system mid-season. This would be devastating. The mercenaries showed videos from Brawlo's PvP server as evidence for it being a superior and supposedly fairer system. But I am well aware of the changes and optimizations made on that server. For example, there were no APCs in Brawlo's server. Considering a large amount of the map was now safe-zoned, preventing PvP, most of the fights would be taking place on the roads, and with armored vehicles, our way of playing would be over. We had to stop this, so we turned to desperate measures. The vote continued, and we were winning, but it was close. The mercenaries were openly rigging the vote. New accounts flooded the join list, voted, then left. They even admitted it, so we had no choice. We pulled out a classic tactic: rig the vote with Russians. We called in a large faction, ZBK, to help us turn the tide in the vote, and that we did. After over 100 votes, we had barely won. A part of the deal with the Russians for having them vote no was an alliance. We had to ally with them, or they'd all vote opposite. We had won the vote, but at what cost? We felt that our time on the server was running out, so we took it upon ourselves to try assassinate the remaining players on the server. After taking out most of our targets, we decided to return to the mercenaries. This would turn out to be a notable skirmish. We faced our first death to the mercenaries and engaged a full squad of enemies.
And another person with a gun. 2 people with guns and ghillies. They're camping my body. Traveling east. Alright, sick.
And while we were in town, we weren't going to leave the mercenaries' allies, Meth faction, without a visit. We wanted to pay a bit closer attention to our forced allies, who by this time had likely established a base and presence on the server. We gifted them some weapons and supplies in a stash in return for bringing us 5 mercenary ears, and another stash for their loyalty to us. Something that we weren't too confident on. We didn't exactly trust them, which is why we made sure that we found them before they found us. It was not long after that ZBK had killed several mercenaries and informed us that they had a spy within the mercenary faction. They had supposedly uncovered plans for an operation. The mercenaries would be traveling across the map. We were skeptical of this, but we believed ZBK had no reason to betray us. The ZBK operation didn't go smoothly. They were wiped out.
Alright, Team 1, here's what's gonna happen. We're going to break the gates. Remember class.
I noted that this was extremely unusual. The mercenaries had never geared up this much. Something had changed. Just after this operation, we received an ambiguous message from Mafiner, the leader of an infamous Russian cheater faction called Squad Bravo. In addition to this, his teammate Max Wax began playing as well. ZBK told us they removed Max Wax and that they had no affiliation to the cheaters, but we couldn't help but feel their arrival was no coincidence. We'd get another opportunity to explore this ourselves. A similar mercenary operation would be occurring in less than a week. Just like the last operation, the mercenaries planned another convoy across the server. This would be a joint operation between 4SG and ZBK. We would meet with our allies to ambush the mercenary convoy. We chose a bridge choke point with terrain on our terms. After months of fighting mercenaries who had rarely exited their base, we wouldn't turn down this opportunity. Would ZBK betray us? Was it all a setup? One that we weren't going to turn down. The spy informed us they were en route. Aside from having to constantly remind our Russian ally to properly cover himself in the forest and a few jokes about his stupid pink backpack, we were all in position.
Betray? Fuck. Leopard betrayed, apparently.
ZBK had betrayed us. We had only killed the mercenary slave faction, but their main force flanked us from the south. I injured as many of them as I could, but it was now 14 against 2. Liari had been killed, and although he was on his way back, I had no hope of returning in time. Their van was an RV safe house, allowing them to endlessly respawn. But why had they betrayed us? Is it because they were a part of Maffiner's infamous cheater faction? That was a topic for later. Although heavily injured, we were not going to go down easy.
Got me in my fucking
One is here,
foot.
one is here, one is here.
Got Nightingale.
Oh man, the leaderboard is just us. That's super funny.
The fight raged on,
Reloading.
the mercenaries suffering dozens of casualties. It wasn't going well for them. Their heavily geared squad from the beginning was rapidly losing bodies to the point where only 2 mercenaries hadn't yet been killed. Their entire faction was wiped out. That's when the mercenaries revealed their true nature. If you can't win, you cheat. The admins stepped in. At least it wasn't subtle anymore.
That's corny as fuck.
That is corny as hell, man. Bro, they got so destroyed so bad, man. It's so funny that admin had to step in, bro. I mean, it's a fucking PvP server, man. What did you expect?
The fight was over. We had won, barely. At a heavy cost, a Pyrrhic tactical victory. At least 30 bodies of our enemy lay in the battlefield, with 2 of our own losses. We shifted our attention to ZBK. This was clearly their doing, not the mercenaries. But we had no time to stop what was coming. The next day, the server suffered a major attack from cheaters. Dozens of safe houses and vehicles were destroyed or unclaimed by a hacker. We had angered the staff in a ticket when we accused them of admin abuse during the fight, and now we were reported by ZBK, who claimed to have evidence against me being responsible. The staff were looking for any reason to get rid of us, and ZBK just gave it to them. The staff made a post, preemptive bans to secure their server, we were included, though they admitted we hadn't broken any rules. We were set up. The community blamed us for the attack. Prior banned cheaters began mass reporting us across all Project Zomboid servers. Now we weren't just under threat in one community, but all of them. Server owners told me they were receiving reports about me. At the same time, those same users dug up old chats showing my friends, who at the time were my enemies, speaking negatively about me. They were trying to turn my friends against me. This was a major line crossed. But there had to be a reason for all of this. I had never violated my integrity as an admin. ZBK was going scorched earth. They were trying to shut me and my group down. But they made one mistake. Cheating is as much a strength as it is a weakness. And ZBK, a group who had mocked us for our counterintelligence shortcomings in Deadhead, were about to learn a very hard lesson in operational security. During our investigation, Crucible was hit by a wave of cheat attacks, destroying numerous safe houses. ZBK then applied for admin in Crucible and made an alt account with the name Hallie, attempting to set us up once again, but it was too late for them. We had thoroughly investigated and infiltrated their faction. While we were busy, admins on other servers were also doing their own investigations into ZBK. Light Rain, the head admin of Crucible, had found damning evidence against ZBK that not only vindicated us, but proved they were behind the server attacks. Dord, The man who had betrayed us in Operation Deadhead was secretly behind the server attacks, giving alternative accounts to cheaters and coordinating mass cheating while the rest of the faction was caught downloading cheats by our spy. We weren't going to be unbanned from after the fall, but we had our revenge. ZBK was now defeated. And as for the mercenaries, well, this video serves to immortalize their true legacy.